In today's video, I'm going to show you the different options when it comes to crocheting into your foundation chain. So let's start by creating a foundation chain. We start with a slip knot over 2 fingers, tuck the working yarn underneath, pull up a loop, insert your hook. Now it doesn't really matter when you're practicing what type of yarn and crochet hook you're using, as long as they're compatible. So I'm going to chain 20, yarn over, chain 1, yarn over, chain 2, chain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now, in the majority of cases, say I have got to do a single crochet, I'm going to be skipping the first stitch here. So when it comes to choosing what type of foundation row you're going to use, you've got these main options. You can crochet into the top. That's a single strand. So that's the top of the V. So it's the stitch that, or the strand that is just here. We're going to skip this first one and we're going to see what it's like when we just crochet into this top loop. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. And set your hook just in with one strand, top loop, pull through. Just need a bit more yarn here. Keep going across, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I'm using chunky or bulky yarn here and a size 5 crochet hook, which is quite a small crochet hook for bulky or chunky weight yarn. You can see that we get this single edge here, this single strand here, which looks quite nice. And on the back, we have a neat edge. Now, with thicker yarn, it's easier to get a really neat bottom edge. With fine yarn, it's much harder. So you can use this top strand quite easily for thick weight yarn. Now for finer weight yarn, I'd advise you to go, I mean not the finest, but for the next down, say Aran or worsted weight or double knitting, I would advise you to go into the V. Now, if you push your crochet hook into this V, like so, you're going to capture 2 strands. So let me do that again. We're going into the V, just here, capturing 2 strands. And this is, in the majority of cases, the way I like to do my first row, because on finer weight yarns it gives you a neater edge. 2. So I'm going down into just here. So I've got 2 strands just here. might have to turn your work excuse me, towards you a touch, just to see that you've captured both those strands. And again, pushing down into the V, capturing 2 strands on the top, yarn over, pull up, yarn over. So we can see we get a slightly different edge. I mean, it's marginal on the front of your work, slightly bigger stitches because you captured more yarn, if you like, and on the back it will look slightly different again. On the reverse, we have got this little horizontal bump on the when we go through the top loop, but when we go through the top 2 loops, we're getting a slightly neater edge on the reverse. But is life too short to worry? Probably. So I'm going to show you a third way. This gives you another option, and this works very well on really fine yarn. And this is where we turn our work towards us, and you will see on the chain a series of horizontal bumps. You can run your finger along the back of the chain and actually feel them. And on this thick yarn, you can see them really clearly. There's the next one. So I'm going to just do a stitch. So you're going to have to turn your chain towards you, which some people find confusing or uncomfortable or annoying. So this is where we just have to go with the flow. So let's try this and see what happens. Into the back bump. Remember, we're doing a single crochet each time. Single crochet again. Bear in mind that every foundation row is slow. And it should be slow because it's your setup for your work. Take your time with it, and I don't use the back bump very often because it is the slowest of them all. I find it tricky, but with practice, obviously, we all get better at different things. I'm going to see what happens with our back bump. First row. There we go, that's the last stitch. So having a look at this, this gives us a different feeling altogether. It creates a nice edge at the bottom. So if I were doing something like a cardigan or a jumper where I wanted a definite edge, this is the one I would go for because it really does give that smart edge. If, however, I'm doing a blanket or a throw, something like that, where I'm going to do a border around it, I would probably use one of the first 2. And most likely, I'd use this one because this is the easiest one to do. Let's have a look at the reverse of the back bump option. We can see that it gives us the same style of stitch, but it gives us this flat edge. So the choice is yours. There is no right, there is no wrong. It's really entirely up to you, your preference of how you like to do it. Each of those stitches is a single crochet. Remember, this one was done into the top loop. This one was done into the V, which is my universal choice. And this one was done into the back bump, which gives you this really lovely bottom edge to your work. So there you have it. Foundation rows on a single chain. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this technique, please subscribe, press the bell, and come back and watch some more videos. Take care, bye.